Hi, you guys. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hi, Danita. How are you? I know where you from. I know where you from. Did you get my message that I sent today? Did you get it? I know you're from Tennessee. Of course, I know that. How are you? How are you? You know, I had to come on here a little early, make sure everything's working. Danita, can you hear me? See me clearly? Everything working? You can hear me clearly? See me clearly? Let me know. Let me know. Happy Saturday. Happy December. Hi, Michael. How are you? Can everybody hear me and see me clearly? Come on in here. Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy December 2nd. Y'all know this is my birthday month. Yes, good. Everybody can hear me. You can hear me. I'll give you a few. Let's give everybody a few minutes. Then we'll jump in. I got some good articles for us today. I got some good talking. You know, this is the first full week of December. So what does that mean? Auctions. That was so cool. Auctions. Auctions. It's a lot of them. I'm going to post tomorrow. It's a lot. Georgia, California, Texas. You know, the first Tuesday of the month, tons of auctions. And a lot of them have opening bids. So they might be trying to, these banks might be trying to push some through right here at the end of the year. So it's a lot. But I mean, it's always a lot the first week of the month. Because Georgia, that's when they do all their auctions. So it's a bunch. It's a bunch. So, got a couple of articles, couple of things. Of course, you know, you guys ask me anything you want to ask me, any questions. That is what I'm here for. That is what I'm here for. Tell me where you're from. Tell me where you're from. I want to know where you're from. You don't have to talk to me the whole night unless you just want to, but I do want to know where everybody is from. I'm pulling up a couple articles that I found that I just want to share really quickly. Get all my information up like it's a PowerPoint. Where is everybody? California, West Coast. I see you. My daughter's Florida. I already know where you're from. Atlanta. You know, y'all are, this is your week. Atlanta, auction week, first Tuesday of the month. Auctions. Y'all got a lot. Y'all got a lot too. Michigan, okay, Michigan, Atlanta, California, Tennessee, Florida, Virginia, okay. Everybody, thank you for being here. I know it's 8 o'clock Central Time, so it's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, 7, 6 West Coast, every place else. Arkansas, my neighbor, okay. All right, you guys, so it is 8:02. I'm going to jump in because y'all know I can talk. I can talk. So, let's jump in. It is December, my birthday month. Me and my dog Greg's birthday month. I'm Ashley Pickens. Y'all know the drill. I am Ashley Pickens here in Memphis, Tennessee. You guys, I've been in real estate since 2006. Yes, 2006. As a real estate agent. Then I became a real estate broker. Yes, I talk with my hands. But most people know me because I auction off foreclosures for the banks here in Memphis, Shelby County, Mississippi, Nashville, Nashville sometimes when they need me. But here in the southern area, I auction off foreclosures at the courthouse. I do trustee sales for the attorneys here. So that is where most people have found me. That's probably where most of y'all found me, because of my videos where I just kind of share information about the auction. And I know a lot of people are just not sharing information. It's still really underground. It's still really hush hush. Like, people know that there's auctions at the courthouse, but like, that's all you really know. You don't know like what time, what properties are going up, like how do you pay. Like, people just know they auction off properties at the courthouse, right? But all the details are a little sketchy, right? So I kind of created my channel and all my videos just to kind of shed some light on the auction arena. Okay, so let's talk about it. I hope everybody's doing good. Found a couple of articles, you guys, that are very interesting, because you know how I feel. If you've been on here enough, you know how I feel. The numbers that they show on the news are not real numbers, right? Now, I will say, banks are not foreclosing on people right now. I think they're just giving everybody a chance just to pay. And I mean, the banks honestly don't want these houses, right? So they're just trying their best to give everybody an opportunity. That's why I tell everybody, what's up, Miami? If you are behind on your mortgage, talk to your lender. Talk to them, because honestly, they're not really trying to foreclose on you, right? I'm working a deal right now, and they were like, if you need some more time to close, we'll give you some more time to close. Or if you need to find another buyer, we'll give you time. I'm like, they are not trying to foreclose on these people, honestly, which is a good thing for homeowners, right? That's why I always encourage people, talk to your lender. When I see these properties go up for auction and they're on the market for sale, I'm like, y'all didn't even talk to the bank. Just call them. They'll postpone that auction because they really don't want your house back, honestly. You just left Memphis. Yeah, at least it's a little warmer here, you guys. It's about 68. But, so, I encourage everybody, they're giving you enough time to sell it or to catch up or do whatever you need to do with your property right now. How long this is going to last, I don't know. How long can these people the banks hold on? I don't know. You know what I mean? So, but it's a lot of auctions going up this week. Let me just say that. A lot of auctions going up. I've already said we are going to see an increase in the auctions, me at the courthouse, and REO properties, the properties that do not sell at the courthouse, right? If I can't sell them, they go back to the bank and they become an REO, real estate owned by the bank. We're going to see a lot of those, because I can't sell a lot of these properties at the courthouse because the opening bid is too high, you guys. A lot of these people are losing their properties and they just bought them 3 years ago, or 2020, 2021. Everybody who I talk to, I would say 8 out of 10 people, 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 people I talk to, COVID, right? COVID a lot of people just could not recover from COVID, honestly. And y'all think about the people who bought a house in 2019, bought a house, and then boom, COVID hit and people lost their job and they just bought a house. You know what I mean? I've had people call me, a guy called me, he lost his wife during COVID. That's an income, right? You know what I mean? You 2 incomes, buy a house, your wife dies. Now you only got 1 income trying to pay all the bills and the mortgage. He was in foreclosure. Another guy, and I'm talking about middle class people, y'all. Not I don't want y'all thinking everybody in foreclosure or every house that goes up for auction is in the hood, because that ain't the truth. That the suburbs go up for auction too, okay? Let me tell you. And it's a lot of properties, in California. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I've been posting these $1 million mansions in Orange County, Beverly Hills, up for auction. So don't think, right, that auctions that only, certain areas don't have money, because everybody's struggling right now, honestly. What was I going to say? Yeah, a guy called me. Great neighborhood, middle class, wife, kids in college. He lost his job during COVID, and he just, you know what I mean? The job he had, I guess, he got laid off. The company closed down, and he had to find a new job, and the new job wasn't paying what the old job was paying, right? So, in foreclosure, you guys, in foreclosure, kid in college, everything. So I feel yes, the foreclosure wave is definitely coming. But is it because like mortgage, like because of the same reason of 2006, 2007, like these bad loans and all that. I honestly don't think, I mean, it's probably is some bad loans out there, right? It's always going to be some bad loans. But honestly, people just can't afford it. Like, people just don't have money. Everything is too high. People just don't have money. And COVID, and people about to start losing their jobs in the new year. Like, it's not 2006, 2007. Y'all, it's post-COVID, right? It's 2024, 2023. So every downturn is not the same, right? So I feel like it's coming. It's coming for sure. And I'm not saying the real estate market is going to crash. That's not what I'm saying. When you come on my channel, it's foreclosures, right? It's auctions. Will there be a foreclosure wave? Absolutely. 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 Keep in mind, they just put the veteran moratorium. So now you cannot foreclose on a veteran loan until June 2024, right? And the article was like, because 80,000 people or 100,000 people, 100,000 veterans are behind on their mortgage. Y'all know, you heard me talk about it last weekend. Y'all, it's more than 100,000 veterans behind on their mortgage. If it was only a handful of people behind on their mortgage, they would not have enacted a whole moratorium for 6 months. So, I know it's more than that. Y'all, we got a ton of VA loans, a ton of veterans, even though we treat our veterans so bad. Let me just be honest about that. Yeah, so clearly that's one problem. If you have veterans, so many veterans behind, we need to extend this so all of them don't, because it's so many people in foreclosure, so they don't lose their houses. Again, if it was only a handful, they wouldn't have enacted this whole moratorium. So veteran foreclosure has been extended until next summer, until May, right? COVID foreclosure, I got it pulled up right here, ended November 30th, the foreclosure. So 70% of our people that are behind on their mortgage, defaulted notes, are in some type of forbearance, whether it's bankruptcy, whether it's forbearance, whether it's some kind of loss mitigation. 70% of our defaulted notes. 70%. This means people are not paying their mortgage, you guys. So COVID forbearance ended November 30th. What was that? Thursday. Yeah, COVID-19 forbearance guaranteed loans will end on November 30th, 2023. So, they're probably going to come up with something else to cover these people once these people come out of forbearance. I think most people agree that the foreclosures will probably come like second quarter 2024. Now, keep in mind, it's gonna come in waves. Like when the market crashed in 2007, 2008, foreclosures didn't hit until 2009, 2010. Keep in mind, it's gonna be like the foreclosures come, they lag, right? So, and this is just the beginning, right? This is just the beginning. So when summer 2024 comes and they start pushing some of these properties out, it's just the beginning, right? Keep that in mind. And I think it'll be more, I think the trickle will start coming summer of next year. But keep in mind, when these veterans come out of these forbearance programs, when you come out of forbearance, then the foreclosure process starts all over. Okay, you guys? So that means the notices got to go back out again. It's still a process, even when they come out of forbearance and go back into foreclosure or go into foreclosure. It's still a lag. So think about that. June, veteran extension, their moratorium ends. Those people go back into the foreclosure process. That'll put us right at what? The election, right? Which is the wild card that we all talk about, right? what is going to happen? We got an election. So by the time these people come out of the moratorium, go back into foreclosure, all the notices, you got to wait, it's a certain time period before the lender can file, and then they go to auction. We'll be right there at election, right? So you never know. This, whoever ends up in office, I don't care either way. Foreclosures might not even be a discussion then, right? Because it'll still be kind of trickling through. But we'll see. We'll see if, but they'll be coming. They'll for sure be. I see them now. I see this week at the auction, it's a whole bunch of properties going up for auction. Like, I was kind of like surprised. We're right here at the end of the year. And I guess, I don't know, maybe these banks are trying to push some of these properties through. Because it's still a lot of cancellations, right? Still a lot of cancels, a lot of postponements. I'm going to try to pull the schedule up real quick. But it's a lot of opening bids. Like, it looks like a bunch of them. Texas, so it looks like in Texas, and you'll see when I post tomorrow. You guys, I wish I could share my screen on here. I said one day I was going to try to zoom and share my screen, but it's a lag. When I hook this up to Zoom, and it's like a lag, and it's like an echo and all that kind of stuff. So, but in Texas, anybody in here from Texas? Any Texas people? Let's see. It looks like, I don't know if it's a builder or what, but it's no address. It's just the street names, right? So I'm sure it's land. It's what it is. It's got to be a bunch of land that's being auctioned off for foreclosure. Are y'all still with me? Y'all mighty quiet, or y'all just taking it all in? Y'all just taking it all in. In Bandera, Texas, Brown, Texas, it's not even addresses. It's just street names. And the opening bid is so low, like $9,000, $11,000, $6,000. So I know it's land. I know it's land that's going up. So Williams and Associates. I got their email today. They do gotta, and that's why I'm like, gosh, we right here at the end of the year, and these banks trying to push these houses through. I don't know. I don't know if that's foreshadowing what's to come in the new year, but they usually put a holiday moratorium on foreclosures, and it'll start the middle of December and run through the 1st of January, where they won't foreclose on people. But it's a bunch going up this week, and I'm like, maybe these banks are trying to push. And again, it's a lot of it looks like maybe it's somewhere in Texas, Polk, Texas. I'm not familiar. I mean, we know Austin and Dallas and stuff like that, but Henderson, Texas, Brown, Bandera, Texas, it's a lot of land up in foreclosure. So I don't know if it's a builder that is in foreclosure in Texas, but all of it is going up for auction this week. So, and they said Texas, Florida, they said Florida and Texas. They said Florida is going to lead the way when it comes to the foreclosure wave, like it did last time. And then Texas, San Antonio, Austin, those are going to be some really foreclosure hot spots. Y'all know I'm trying to get my beach house in Florida for $25.37. That's the plan. That is the plan. So, yeah, it's a ton this week coming up at auction. LA, Sacramento, all these places, even Shelby. I got a bunch this week going up for auction. And they got opening bids. I don't know. Maybe some banks are just trying to clear their, I don't know. I don't know what's the method, because it's been really kind of quiet at the auction, honestly. Postponements, cancels, everything. I don't know if the bank is just at this point let's do it. It's the end of the year. Let's push these properties through. So I don't know. If you're behind on your mortgage, communicate with your lender. Communicate. If you don't want to file bankruptcy, if you can't get a modification, if you can't do forbearance, if you can't I don't know what your other option. If you can't catch up and pay it, sell it. Sell it. Just sell your property. Just sell it. Just sell it. That's how I feel about it. Y'all know how I feel about it. Just sell it. Don't let your house be auctioned off, and you may or may not get the money, like the proceeds from it. You just got to put your pride in your pocket. Just put your pride in your pocket and sell it. You know what I mean? And I see plenty of properties up for auction that are on the market. And I know taxes, that's going to be the other thing that hurts a lot of people. Even these cash buyers, right? Like, even if you paid cash, it's a lot of investors losing properties. A lot. I see it when they go up for auction. I can see that they just bought it like 2 years ago. It looks like they flipped it and could not get off of it. And you can see, like, you know, when you can see the price history, like they bought it. You can look at the pictures and see they flipped it. Then they tried to put it on the market to rent it out. They couldn't rent it. And then here we are. Now they're in foreclosure, right? So I see a lot of that. And those properties will end up being REOs because they're just too expensive at the auction. Nobody's going to pick them up at the auction. They don't make sense for an investor. But that's opportunity for everybody else. Opportunity for everybody else. What was I going to say? Taxes. Florida, y'all got y'all's tax bill, didn't you? Taxes, that's going to kill a lot of people too. Just the simple fact of, I know when you buy a house and you get your mortgage, it's supposed to be 30 years fixed, but that can vary depending on what? Taxes and insurance. Your principal and interest can stay the same when it's fixed, but taxes and interest can absolutely go up on your mortgage payment. And so when everybody bid up all these properties the last couple of years, those tax assessments are coming on back out. So Florida, I'm here in Florida, y'all got y'all's tax bill, and a lot of people are surprised at how high these taxes are. And even if you own a home free and clear, you still got to pay the taxes on it, right? And think about that. If you're an investor and your property is not rented out and you're already struggling, and then you get hit with a tax bill that is ridiculous, right? That could just put you over the edge, right? I mean, that's a lot of people when these tax assessments go out and their mortgage payment goes up based on these taxes. Yeah, it's just a lot, right? It's just a lot going on in the real estate market right now. What do y'all think? Do y'all think the foreclosures are coming? Because y'all mighty quiet over there. Maybe y'all just taking it all in. Hey, Ashley, did you see the interest rates will be reduced by 6? I saw that. Nobody knows when the interest rates are coming down. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has their idea of when the interest rates are coming down. Nobody knows. Jerome has not said anything about cutting rates. Jerome has not said it. But you know, like when Jerome says something, he's like, I'm trying to get inflation down, you know, whoop-de-whoop. Then when the news picks it up, when the media writes their story, it's like, judging from Powell's tone, we expect interest rates to come down in the summer. It's like, he didn't even say that though. Or judging from past events, we expect interest rates to come down. Do I think they're going to come down? They will. When? No idea. Right? Like, and I think regardless too, if the interest rates come down, right? If the interest rates come down, I mean, that will open up the market for people to buy again, right? Or maybe people can sell quicker and buy something else, because a lot of people aren't moving because they don't want to give up the interest rate they have to get into something else. So we'll see. We just don't. I was looking at the properties you posted on the community page, and a lot of solar are back on the market for resale. Absolutely. So when I post properties, right, I try to make it makes sense, because sometimes I post a property and I'm like, okay, it went up for auction, like especially recent ones. What is this? This is December, so October, November, I'll post the opening bid and what it sold for, because I know y'all like to see what they sold for. Now, sometimes I will dig back, right? I'll go back and look at the old schedules, right? And pull a property like from June. I can go back to May, June, July, see what the property went up for auction, what the investor bought it for, what it sold for, and then I can see that the investor has it on the market now, flipping it basically, right? So a lot of times, like what you see, it is the investor who bought it at the auction, flipping it, putting it back on the market. Because I mean, that's most people's game plan, right? If you can buy a property for cheap enough, you're going to do one or two things with it, right? You're going to rent it out for cash flow, or you're going to put it back on the market and flip it, right? So I try to find those, right? Like if somebody bought it at the auction, what the investor has it on the market for right now, trying to sell it for, or what it sold for. There are a ton of foreclosures scheduled. That was just January and one attorney site, so I believe there's plenty of... Yeah, it is. Like, again, I'm even surprised, like, how inventory is, like, picking up everywhere. Y'all can't... I would put the computer so you can see, but y'all can't see. But don't worry. Follow me on Instagram and here. You know, each week I do a reel where I'm like, this week's foreclosures. And it's a long list this week, honestly. And again, I'm surprised that they're opening bids. Usually they've been like canceled, they've been postponed. We got bids this week, so it looks like they're trying to sell. Which, again, you guys, what do I say? I know it's the holidays. Y'all better not be out there buying flat screen TVs. I know that. We ain't buying flat screen TVs. You're saving your money. You're fixing your credit. You're doing what you need to do so you can capitalize on these investments, right? I'm trying to teach you so when you buy them correctly, right? Because you cannot buy the wrong lien. Don't buy the wrong lien. Right? Hold on, let me read. That's my plan next year, to flip them to buy properties that don't need much work. It'll be there. I'm telling you, it'll be there. The opportunity will be there. And it will be there for the next couple of years. It's just, you know, I think it won't come until halfway through next year. Again, election year, so we got to get through that part. But if things go, we'll see, right? I mean, how long can banks hold on? How long can these servicers hold on, right? Y'all saw Chase is laying off. Chase, our boy Jamie Dimon, laying off. Not laying off, but closing branches. Y'all see this? Let's see. Everybody is Chase, Wells Fargo, all of them. In 2023, JP Morgan Chase has or will close 159 branches across the United States, right? And they're saying it's because of how, we'll say, so they're saying a lot of it is because banking has moved online. So a lot of people aren't going to the bank anymore, which I think is true, right? And I also think, shoot, it's down. Mortgages are down, all that kind of stuff. You know, everything is people not going to the bank because they don't have no reason to go to the bank because they don't have any money in the bank. So everybody's got their money under the mattress right now, right? So all you got to do is walk to the mattress and get a withdrawal instead of going to the bank. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citibank have also announced closures, right? So what does that mean for these people who work there, right? Well, we know what it means. We know what it means, right? Arizona, 5 branches closing. California, 46 branches closing. Colorado, 6 branches. Connecticut, 3. Florida, 5. Illinois, 24 branches. Like, what are these people? Indiana, 6 branches. I don't know. Michigan, 3. So what about these people in their jobs? You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's the thing. When places start closing down, that's people getting laid off, right? That means when you get laid off, you don't have any money. If you don't have any money, you can't pay your bills. Can't pay your bills, you can't pay your mortgage. I hope that nobody buy a house that's getting laid off, right? You know what I mean? It's like a domino effect, I'm telling you. What do you think about buying and holding? Sasko speaking on what I'm seeing. I think it just depends. Like, I think that's like that's the long game for me too, right? You want that passive income, that residual income. But it depends on where you buy, right? You can't buy in New York. No shade to my people in New York. I know all of you. I love you. But New York, y'all got some rental laws that are just not investor friendly, right? Y'all's property is too high unless you can get it at auction. But then y'all's laws. Yeah, I think that's everybody's game plan, right? Either you're going for cash flow, residual income with rentals, right? And if you can get it for cheap enough. So I think a lot of people are thinking the BRRRR method too. Everybody kind of familiar with the BRRRR method. Buy, what? Refinance, rehab, refinance, repeat. Y'all know what I mean, right? If y'all don't know what I mean, I need to explain it. Because I don't want to assume that everybody knows what the BRRRR method is, right? I don't want to assume that. But, so different methods of investing, right? So one is buying properties if you can get them cheap enough at the auction, right? We're trying to get them for like $29.37, right? Half off properties, fix them up, and then you can rent them out, right? If you buy it cheap enough, you can rent them out. A lot of people buy them at the auction, right? You buy them, get them cheap enough, fix them up, refinance them, right? You refinance them, pull that money out. A lot of people pull that money out and then go buy something else, right? And then rent that property out. Or you could sell it, but I mean, you could rent it. You know what I mean? You just got to make sure your numbers right. You got to buy cheap enough. You got to buy cheap enough, right? That's the thing. You got to buy cheap enough. That's my whole, the interest rate absolutely matters, right? Interest rate absolutely matters. But if you can get a property for like half off or 70% off, 80% off, you're going to let the interest rate fly, right? If you can get it if the numbers make sense, right? You can't do 8% and it's at the top of the market and all that. That doesn't work. So that's what okay, so that's the thing. That's the thing. You can't, the interest rate, that's where everybody's kind of like, I'm hearing some real estate gurus say, and everybody, you got to do your own method, right? I heard one guy say, when the foreclosures come, y'all follow me and then y'all tell me your opinion, what you think, does it make sense or does it not? I'm just repeating what he says, right? This is not your method. It's probably not my method either. If the interest rate is still high, but if you get the property for low enough, right? If you get it for cheap enough. So if you get a property that's like, let's just, for the sake of numbers, $200,000, and you can buy it for, let's say, $100,000, right? You get it for $100,000. It's worth $200,000. I'm trying to play this out in my mind right now. And then you fix it up. Okay, so if you're at the auction though, you're going to have to pay cash, right? You guys are going to have to pay cash at the auction. You buy property for $100,000 cash at the auction. You put in $30,000 to fix it up. Then now the property is worth $200,000, right? And then you refinance it. I'm confusing the heck out of myself as I'm trying to talk myself through this. But y'all probably like, no, Ashley, I'm not getting where you're got to get it cheap enough in the rate. Shouldn't hurt my stance on the interest rates. That if the numbers make sense, I'm moving forward. So refinance hires. Okay, so everybody, I know I confused people who do. If you don't know real estate, I probably just confused the heck out of you. Yeah. So yeah, but the refinance part, it comes where you can pull the money out because you got it for so low, right? You got it for 100,000. You put 30,000 in it. You refinanced it, and it's worth 200,000, right? You got 130 in the game. It's worth 200. You could pull out what, 70,000, right? Yeah, I think I'm doing this right. Yeah. Or you don't even have to pull out that much. You can pull out just a little bit to buy another property. Y'all follow me? That's like the method that people do. I probably confused the heck out of people who are not in real estate. But that's something, even if the market, even if the interest rates are kind of high. But I think that's on if you're paying cash and then refinancing. You know what I'm saying? Then you can pull that money out, basically. Even if it's sitting at 8%, right? Which we can come back to that too. And that is one method, right? Renting, which is cash flow, right? Which is passive, you know what I mean? Cash flow, boom. Or that capital gains, buy it, fix it up, flip it, get a lump sum of money quickly, right? You can do that too. And I guess the only way you could do that right now, because things just are not moving on the market. I mean, unless it just depends on where you are. But like I would tell any seller right now, do not price your house at the top of the market, right? Don't do it or you're going to sit. I mean, again, it depends on where you live. If you live in a hot market, do what you do. But if you're trying to sell your property quickly, especially if you're in foreclosure, right? Don't put your house at the top of the market, right? Price accordingly. Make it where it's appealing to somebody. Make it to where somebody can put an offer on it. You know, put your pride in your pocket, right? Put your house on the market for a reasonable amount. Don't try to get all the money that you can get, right? Especially if you got an auction staring you in your face, right? Because these buyers are backing out of deals. They absolutely are backing out of them. And if you're trying to beat an auction, even though I told you all to call and talk to your mortgage, y'all ain't gonna do that, right? Y'all gonna try to beat that auction, and you're not gonna open your mail. You're not gonna answer the phone. You're not gonna check your emails. You're just gonna try to outrun an auction. So price accordingly if you're trying to outrun an auction. That's all I'm saying. I was about to say something else. You made me... somebody said made me think of something that I was about to talk about. I don't know, you guys. It'll come back to me in a second. I got like 50 million articles up on my computer because I want to talk to y'all about everything that's going on in the world right now. So, people are pulling from their 401k. Did y'all know this? 401k, Fidelity just reported that people are withdrawing. There has been an increase in hardship withdrawals from their 401k, right? And the number one reason people are giving for hardship withdrawals, that's a country word, withdrawals. You can't say withdrawals properly. Hardship withdrawals. It says in quarter 3, 2.3% of workers took hardship withdrawals, which is up from 2022. The top reasons behind these withdrawals were avoiding foreclosure and eviction and medical expenses. Number one reason is to avoid foreclosure and eviction is why people are pulling from their 401k right now. So do y'all think they're pulling because of foreclosure? Yeah. And probably Christmas shopping too. You know what I mean? Because people don't shop. Right? But hardship withdrawals are up. How do you find the investors that have a lot of cash, buy cheap, and then just want to turn around and make fast money? Those are still good deals in my opinion, but need to find those investors. Go to the auction. If you got properties, I'm telling you, if you got the properties, that's what they say in real estate. You got to list to last, right? List to last. That's my whole method, right? If I got the houses, what's the golden rule? Whoever got the goal, make the rule, right? What's the goal? Houses, right? So, have a lot of cash, buy cheap, and then just want to turn around and make. I'm telling you, go to the auction. Go to the auction or go to. Look, where do investors hang out? I don't know. The auction, those meetup groups, Facebook groups. Yeah, like all those. There's so many real estate groups. You just got to be really careful. Make sure you're dealing with somebody legit. Oh, that reminds me, you guys. For the record, there probably are going to be some wholesalers, and then you just got to weed through them, right? And just say you don't want to work with wholesalers. You know what I mean? Put it out there like, I see that all the time on the MLS, like no wholesalers, no, you know what I mean? Ask for what you want, right? You know what I mean? Tell them if you got the product, you can sell it. You can move it. I sound like Scarface or something, right? If you got the product, you can move it, right? Oh, that's what I was going to say. I jump around so much. I get so many requests for people who are like, Ashley, I want to work with you, right? I get those requests. My inbox, my text messages overflow with people who are like, I want to work with you, right? Which I appreciate, you guys. I absolutely appreciate it. I said I'm going to start like a list of buyers and all that kind of stuff. But I have to be honest and say that I am very particular about who I work with, right? Just because my clients, right, are people in distress, right? So I have got to make sure anybody that I do a transaction with, right, can close, right? That's because I can't, it's not like traditional market where you can be like, I changed my mind, right? I decided that I'm not, That's another reason why I kind of left the residential side. Even though I love all my residential, I love all my clients know I love them. Like, that's not even a doubt. They know I love them. But the residential side is so emotion. It's built on emotions, right? I gotta love the kitchen. I gotta love the closets. I gotta love this and that, right? Whereas on the investment side, where I am, it's a numbers game. If those numbers don't make sense, boom. If they make sense, let's do it. Let's close it, right? So my point is, which I have to a lot of times on the distressed market, working with people who are in foreclosure, who need a quick sale, I got to work with somebody who I know can close, right? If you tell me you got to close, like you can't back out on me, right? And these people are trying to beat an auction or their house is about to go into foreclosure, right? So I say that to say that I am very particular about who I work with, right? But I will. I'm always open to new buyers. And, again, with the mentorship, I've got people all across the country and they're like, okay, so what about buyers? So I'm building like these relationships because when they get properties, they're going to need to sell it to somebody, right? So that's just my spill on, I'm very particular about who I work with, right? I have a good list of buyers. Y'all know I work with individual buyers all the way up to, y'all know I work with hedge funds too, right? So, I mean, so it's not me being like, Ashley ain't talking to me. It's not that. I just am very particular about who I do business with, right? Because I got these people's houses, right? I'm trying to make sure their house doesn't go up for auction, right? Are your clients open to, you talking to, who you talking to? You talking to me? Kevin, you talking to me or you talking to who you, like, who you talking to? Me or who, somebody else was in the comments talking about buyers. Not you. Ashley, do you do that in Nashville, like helping the distressed people, or do you help in Florida? So right now, I market to Shelby, Mississippi, and Nashville, right? I will probably expand, but it's a lot, right? Like today, like every week I mail almost 100 letters every week. I reached out to like 100 people today. You guys, you got to keep in mind, I tell people in the mentorship, right? Like, I operate on a bigger scale than most people in the mentorship. Everybody in the mentorship is basically looking for them, right? They're looking for properties for themselves. They'll help, but they're looking to expand their portfolio. So it's only like they filter through properties to who they want to market to. Me, I have to mail everybody, right? Because I operate on a bigger scale. I'm, in so many words, like I'm feeding a lot of people, right? I got to feed my clients. I got to feed investors. I feed some hedge funds, right? Like I have a lot of people that I'm keeping fed. So I have to market to a ton of people, right? In order to get properties. So, Florida, I have not moved to Florida. I need somebody who's in Florida to look, to get on this so y'all can find my beach house, right? I need somebody in Florida to come on into the mentorship, right? So y'all can find my $35.79 beach house, waterfront, balcony and everything. You know what I mean? So, okay, so Kevin, you're talking to me. Kevin, you asked, are your clients open to subject to? I have not even presented subject to. I'm going to be completely honest. And it's only because I'm not familiar with subject to, right? Like I know who's the Pace. Is that the big guy who does subject to? He's Pace Moby, or whatever his last name is. I think he's the big subject to guy. I just don't know subject to, right? Now I know like wholesaling, right? But I don't know the premise. I think subject to is similar to assuming, right? If I'm right, like assuming the mortgage is subject to, but I'm not sure how that works. You know what I mean? Like I don't know I know how like to do an assumable mortgage with like a basic client on the residential real estate side, but the subject to, I'm not familiar with like that paperwork, that contract, or anything like that. So I've never presented it to them, is my whole point. And I went all the way around the world just to say that. I just never presented it to them, right? So they might be, you know what I mean? I just don't know. And I hope that answers your question, Kevin. I just have not, that's not one of my methods, right? I just need them to buy them outright and keep it pushing. So that's my only thing, because I know I get that all the time. Ashley, I want to work with you. I just got to make sure my people can close, right? And I know the people that I work with can close. The people I work with, I can call them and be like, wire $100,000 right now. And they can be like, okay, no questions asked, period. Right? They won't even know the address of the house. They just trust me and be like, okay. And I know Ashley's going to make me some money back, which is true. So, I'm just not familiar with subject to. You're looking at 500 plus insurance unless yeah. Florida, y'all, it's expensive. That's okay, my daughters. Don't worry about it. I'm about to get my $55.79 beach house in Florida. What part of Florida? I don't know. The part that has the beach. That part. So, but y'all's taxes and insurance is ridiculous in Florida. So you got to have a good price down there, right? Because I got to get like hurricane, and I'm not used to any kind of hurricane stuff. We don't have that in Memphis, right? So, but it's all right. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Because when I get this house for $73.19, I'll be able to afford hurricane windows and a storm shelter and all that. Don't worry about it. Am I caught up on everybody? Oh yeah, y'all know I've been in the business so long, right? I've just been in the business, right? And that's why I started marketing to, well, first of all, y'all, I auction out properties at the auction. So people would come to me, right, with questions about the auction and foreclosure. And I'm like, y'all, don't let me auction off your property. Just sell them, right? Like, I mean, with $100,000 worth of equity in properties and y'all struggling, and I'm about to auction off your property and it's got $150,000 worth of equity. Are we crazy right now, right? And I think some people, they just don't know, right? Or a lot of people just don't know. That is the part that I'm realizing the longer, y'all know I'm looking at the time because I can talk. That's why I make videos. That's why I do master classes, because people don't know. Like, when you buy a house, you don't ever talk about foreclosing, right? It's like a 15-second little line on your contract that's like, if you don't pay your mortgage, they have the right to take it back. Boom. Keep going. People don't know what to do when they get behind on their mortgage, right? It's like, I'm behind on my mortgage. Like, I even go and talk at the home buyer seminar, which I'm like the, what do you call it? Like the Grim Reaper, right? Because when I come, these are first time home buyers trying to get assistance, trying to learn how to buy a house. And I do have to do my spill on like, look, if you don't pay, this is what happens, right? But so many people don't know what happens. I remember a lady called me, no lie. Lady called me. I talked to her like 30 minutes. I'm like, call the bank, ask them about a modification, right? See if you can get a modification. She's like, okay. We talked 30 minutes, modification. Y'all, I was about to use profanity. I was about to say, she called me back after we hung up. We talked a long time. I explained to her, talk to the bank, do this. They'll probably do this. They're going to ask you for this paperwork. Call me back. Literally, hang up the phone. She called me right back and she said, so what was that word you said again that I'm supposed to ask for? And I was like, modification. She said, yes, modification. I said, I'm going to text it to you. I'm going to text you what I said so you can look at it and see. Like, we don't even know the vocabulary for words when you get behind on your mortgage, right? So people just, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I see people and I try to help. I'm like, call the bank and tell them you're in the house, right? And people call me back and they're like, well, that lady said that she couldn't help me and she couldn't do anything about it. I'm like, hang up the phone and call them back and say you want to talk to somebody else. And I remember this lady, I saw her house on Homes. She called me back and she was like crying. And she was like, the manager got on the phone and told me that they postponed my auction. They gave me some more time. She was like, thank you so much, Ashley. I'm like, all you had to do was pick up the phone and call them and tell them that you're still in the house, that you want to keep your house, that you need some more time. I'm like, you're not going to get in trouble. They can't ground you. All they can say is no, but at least you got to ask for it. And some people don't even know to just call and ask for it, right? It's like they get the notice, I'm in foreclosure, and boom, that's it. And like they don't do anything. I'm like, so here I am trying to help everybody. Look, like my name Jesus or something. I can't save everybody. Yeah, I don't do, if I get a property, I'm going to be completely transparent. Most of my deals are straight buyer, seller, right? Buyer, investor, homeowner, straight contract. Now, there are some times, I will wholesale. So I don't want to act like wholesaling is like, I don't teach wholesaling. Well, I'll give you a little spill on it in the mentorship. But that's not like, I'm not cold calling. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not door knocking, none of that. It just depends on the property, what the numbers look like, how quickly we got to close, that kind of thing, if that makes sense. Areas of real estate, I'm staying focused on auction because you will get pulled in. You're right. Yeah. I'm always like on the outside. Like I'm the distressed market. Like I've been talking foreclosures for so long and people are like, Ashley, why are you talking about foreclosures? There's no foreclosures. Why? Blah, 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 blah. And look, here we are. And here we are, right? With what? 5 million people behind on their mortgage right now. So it's all a cycle. So for me, I want to go to the source, right? Like I've dealt with, I think my clients like me because, I'm trying to think of the words. My clients like me because I don't deal on market at all. I don't send them properties that are on the market or on the MLS. Like, I'm going to go, I hunt for my own property, so I'm going to give them the best deal because I go straight to the source. So I'm always going to have the best deal. There's no middleman, like wholesaler or something, or agent or something like that between me and the homeowner, because I'm going to go straight to the homeowner so that my clients get the best deal, right? So that's what, I'm my own MLS, right? I'm my own MLS. So, okay, you guys, we're almost been an hour. It's almost been an hour. Yeah, I can talk a little bit more too. Let me make sure I got all the articles that I wanted to talk about. Oh, I wanted to tell y'all about the top cities that saw the greatest increase in foreclosures. Hold on, I got it right here. I'm going to post, of course I'm going to post this, but at least y'all know. Cities that saw the greatest increase in foreclosures for this year so far. So, top 10 cities. Let's see who makes the cut. Are y'all ready? And then I'm going to let you go because I can talk all night. Top 10 cities. So, that saw the greatest increase in foreclosures for right now. So, real quick, and then y'all can go. Tucson, up 24%. Costa Mesa, up 20%. Denver, up 17%. Palm Springs, Florida, up 17%. Detroit is up 16%. Those are top 5. So number 6 on the list is Johnson City. Number 7 is Oceanside. Number 8 is Encinitas. I think that's California, isn't it? Is Encinitas in California? 9 is Portland. And number 10 is Newport Beach. Those are the top 10 cities that saw the greatest number of foreclosures so far this year. The foreclosures have increased, and those are top 10 cities. Top 10 cities. So, okay, you guys, look, we're right at an hour. We did so good tonight, you guys. We did so good. So, I will be back tomorrow night. You'll know the Auction Accelerator course is down below. The mentorship is open. That link is down. Y'all, everything is on one link, so you ain't got to click on all the links. One link, everything is housed in one. I got organized. Look at God. So, Instagram, Your Agent Ashley on Instagram. You'll see where I am here on YouTube. So subscribe, do all the things. And I will be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And we will talk about some more things. We're in it in Tennessee. Johnson City's in Tennessee. Isn't it? Johnson City, Tennessee. Up 14.29%. So, everybody, I think that is it. Unless y'all have some more questions for me, follow on all the places. Your Agent Ashley, everywhere. If you need to email me, youragentashley@gmail. I will see everybody tomorrow night. Or if not, I'll see you sometime. Okay, you guys? Apple crisp and butter pecan ice cream tomorrow night. I love butter pecan ice cream. That's all I wanted to say. This old people ice cream. But anyway, I like it. So I'm getting off. Okay, you guys. I will see you tomorrow night. Bye, you guys. Adios. See you later.